can't be free. Everybody wanna judge, say I'm a thug, I'm a player, I'm a simple, why I can't be me? When I walk up in the store, all the Karens get to staring at me. Put my heart in my music, it's still on my sleeve. Everybody been portrayed.
So fam, what's the word? It's your boy Spiritual Trey, and that is now episode 56 of the Soulful Thoughts blog. And today we're gonna be talking about how to get closer to God, allowing God to live through you. Now, before we get started, it's 3 videos that I need y'all to watch for y'all to furthermore understand this video. The first one is my last video, which is Who, What, and Where is God? The second one is my anxiety part 2 video. Well, I think it was part 3. No, it's part 2. My anxiety part 2 video. And the last one is my 9 dimensions of the mind video. Watch them 3 just so y'all can furthermore understand this video, okay? Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if y'all want to see y'all boy in the algorithm. Let's dive right into it. What I have right here is a picture of the universe that we live within. It's a representation of the universe that we live within, right? All life exists within this universe, right? Right. Now, it's common sense that all life exists within some type of space, right? This universe has to exist within some type of space, some type of environment that's making its life even possible. Humans, we need a certain environment to live. Plants need a certain environment to live. Animals, every single species, bacteria, every single species on the planet needs a certain environment to live. The planet itself needs a certain environment to thrive, right? Right. So that's clear indication that the whole universe itself needs a certain environment, a certain force that's making this existence possible. And that's what we finna talk about today. Now, let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think is the source of life? Think about it for a second. What do y'all think is the true source of life? Obviously, it gotta be awareness, right? Self-awareness. In order for anything to exist, it has to be some self-awareness that triggered the existence, right? I mean, let's think about it. Nothing around us that we see would exist if we didn't give awareness to the possibility that it could exist, right? The houses we live in, the roads that we drive on, the cars that we use to drive, the businesses that we go into every single day. Every single thing around us was considered impossible at one point. We gave our awareness to the fact that all of this could be possible, and now here we are. After a lot of accumulation of thoughts and feelings and actions, we are here now in the world that we live in. So that's clear indicator that all of life itself, the starting point of life is awareness. But what does our religion say? Religion says that if you, no matter what religion you is, I believe all religions say this: God is everywhere, right? And God is eternal. Right. But life is not eternal, right? I mean, life is just a transition between birth and death, right? And when I say life, I'm talking physical and metaphysical life. All thoughts and feelings have an expiration date, right? So no matter what type of life you're talking about, physical or metaphysical, none of it is eternal. It all has an expiration date. It all will expire one day. The mind that you have now, eventually you will shed this mind and move on to a different mind, a different life. So it seems like the only thing that's eternal is our spirit, right? Our spirit, our space. Why would I say that, our space? Because it's clear that space is the only thing that's been here before all of this, right? I mean, what else been here before all of this? I mean, I know science might say space is nothing. You know, you might go into an empty room and say, yeah, nothing is in here. But if nothing existed before all of this something, maybe nothing is a little more complex than what they teach us, right? I said this exact same quote in my Anxiety Part 2 video. That's why I want y'all to go watch that. Maybe nothing has a little more essence to it than what we think. You ever walk into an empty room and immediately get struck with the energy of possibility? Like you walk into an empty house, you might be thinking about buying a house. You ever walk into an empty house and immediately get struck with the energy of possibility? You immediately want to fulfill that house with all of the ideas and the visions that you're coming up with. Maybe that's God within itself, the God energy within itself. If you're an artist, you ever looked at a blank canvas and immediately tapped into your creative space, you immediately wanted to fill that canvas with whatever visions that are in your mind? The aspect of nothingness is what even gives us the possibility of creating something. Right? Okay, let's get a little deeper in this. So we've established that all of this, the space not only outside, but the space inside this universe is the realm of possibility, right? All empty space can be fulfilled with greatness. Okay. So how do we get closer to God if we just established what God is? By detaching from the thoughts and feelings that we get lost into, right? Why y'all think it feels so good to meditate? It feels so good to not think and feel, right? To get that moment where you just give your spirit a break from work, from conjuring up thoughts, from conjuring up feelings. You just give your spirit that break. Or why y'all think it feels so good to walk into a clean room? It just feels good to be around nothing, right? No clutter around. It's easy for you to move around. It feels so great to be in that space, right? Maybe because they say cleanliness is next to godliness, right? Maybe cleanliness is godliness. And we dirty up our spirit with the desires that we get lost into. So I'm going to tell y'all how existence works. The birth of your spirit is your self-awareness. You became an individual soul, a solo spirit, when you became self-aware. You separated from this overall unconscious spirit when you developed your own consciousness. When you developed your own consciousness, you started developing your first intuitions, filling out the vibe of the environment that your spirit was within when you became self-aware. From these first intuitions and from observing other spirits operate in their space, you started creating ideas, visions, desires on how you want to conduct your spirit in your space. From these desires, you developed such an emotional attachment to these desires. You found other spirits with similar desires, and you guys connected with each other on each other's desires. You and your group of spirits that you were born next to, which, by the way, those are your other halves. You and the spirits that you were connected to started connecting on the same desires, adding energy to those same chakras. Those chakras, the vibration of those chakras started speeding up to the point where it reached a certain point that we call 432 terahertz. Remember, I'm sure y'all heard that physical life forms at 432 terahertz, right? I think I'm saying that word right, terahertz. But yeah, once the chakra's vibration speeds up to 432 terahertz, it begins to condense into fluid, specifically the fluid that we call water. Right? So a group of spirits come together to create a water cycle. Now, when a certain water cycle reacts with another water cycle, because we all doing the same thing, right? You and your group of spirits created y'all own water cycle. Another group of spirits created their own water cycle. When your water cycle starts to react with another spirit water cycle, another group of spirits water cycles, it starts to create a certain fusion and pressure. That fusion and pressure causes a reaction. That reaction in physical reality we call the sun. When our water cycle that we call Earth reacts with the water cycle that's next to us, it creates a fusion and pressure. Our atmospheres collide and it creates a fusion and pressure, and it produces what we call the sun. The sun is not a floating light bulb. That's why if it was, more space would be lit up than just Earth. You know, the space around the sun would be lit up, and we know it's not, right? That's because the sun does not exist outside of our atmosphere. It actually exists within our atmosphere. Our atmosphere and the other atmosphere that we're reacting with at the moment, right? Right, so now we know that. Okay, so us getting lost into our thoughts and feelings is what caused physical reality to even manifest. Which is why that I call, you know, if you guys watched my Adam and Eve video, you guys probably want to watch that one. That one very dope. I told y'all that the devil in the Bible is allegory to the body. The body is a representation of the desires that we got lost into. We slowed our, it's crazy because we speed up the vibration of our chakras with the more we add energy to them. But it's like once the vibration gets so fast to a certain point, it begins to harden. It begins to harden and it appears to slow down. The vibration appears to slow down the faster it gets. That's why physical reality moves a lot slower than metaphysical reality, right? You can manifest something in your mind like that. If you want a drink of water in your mind, you'll be drinking that drink of water the second you think about it. But in physical reality, you got to get up and go get it, right? Things move a little slower in physical reality, right? Okay, boom. So what do we understand right now? We understand that the spirit is eternal, the metaphysical is internal, and the physical is external. Those are the three layers of life: eternal, internal, and external. So how do we get closer to our eternal? By detaching from the external and getting more in tune with our internal. Stop allowing yourself to get too enamored into this physical life, the pressures of society, the biases that you have built from how you grew up, the stereotypes that have been embedded in your mind from society, the insecurities you have. All of these thoughts and feelings that limit your spirit into a certain perspective are demonic. These are what we call demons. Anytime you detach from these demons and you start to open your mind to the possibilities of what your spirit can be and the realities that you can create, you are getting closer to God. If you look at a blank sheet of paper and you just look at a blank sheet of paper and you just, all you see is a blank sheet of paper, your perspective is limited at the moment. You're in a demonic state of being. But if you look at a blank sheet of paper and you see potential, that's how you know you're close to God. You're tapped into a creative space. You're tapped into a certain space to where, you're tapped into the infinite possibility space. There's no other way to put it. And the further you get away from the infinite possibility space, the further you stop believing in yourself, the further you lose faith in your own spirit's abilities, the more you are detaching yourself from God, because we already separated ourselves from God when we created our self-awareness, right? Our job as spirits is to continue to expand this. Continue to expand the infinite possibilities of what this could possibly become. Remember, this is not just the physical universe. This is the metaphysical universe as well. The metaphysical universe is what is condensing into the physical universe. What is the metaphysical universe? It's a collection of all of our chakras coming together. It's the mental realm. So when you hear astral realm, think mental realm. The mental realm is what's condensing into the physical realm. Okay? So the more you detach from the physical, get more in tune with your metaphysical, you're going to start creating the physical that you want to see. Thus, you're allowing God to live through you at that moment. You're not getting lost into your creation. You're remembering that you're the creator. We are the creators of our own reality. We are the creators of this whole reality. Okay? So stop letting the creation take control over you, creator. Anytime you limit another spirit's perspective, you are being a demon as well. If you told your kid that they can't be something just because you feel like you can't be something, you are a demon. You are a devil. You are in hell. You're gonna live in hell for eternity. You're gonna keep reincarnating into these lives of feeling like you can't until something happens to finally slap your spirit into the knowing that we are everything that is possible. You are a small representation of what infinite possibilities can become. It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Remember, you are not your mind. You are the spirit that's forming and creating your mind. So don't allow yourself to get too engulfed into what your mind has created. Don't get too engulfed into your desires. Stop getting too engulfed into, the limited lessons that you have learned, such as stereotypes, biases, your insecurities. Rise above to the 9th dimension, which is wisdom. If y'all seen my dimension video. And what is wisdom? Being able to see things clear. And how do you see things clear? You got to detach from clutter, right? You got to clean up the clutter. Clean up the clutter in your mind, God. And no, I'm not saying you the overall God, but we are all little pieces and representations of God. We all have our individual space that came from the overall space, our individual spirit that came from the overall spirit. Never forget that. It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Love you, family.
On the beat, start preaching. Feel no evil, see no evil, but peep it. I don't aim for the stars, I want leeches. And a snake spawn, I'ma kill the whole species. Rest in peace to all the peaceful preaching. The youngest wildin', but to say they evil, that's kinda reaching. Who really controlling the way you thinking? Find the truth.